If you believe the advertising, cruising is a sunlit world of peace and leisure, the ideal holiday for the bustling 60s. Yet somehow the atmosphere of life on Chusan, one of P&O's proud white liners, is largely unchanged from the cruising 30s. On board ship, limited space and design leave little scope for radical change. Cruise types prefer the familiarity of traditional games. Most passengers settle for a free tub of ice cream to keep them going between breakfast and lunch. The energetic can use a small swimming pool, one to each class, or join in the games competitions. We found, though, that as the advertising suggests, a book from the ship's library is an almost vital piece of cruise equipment for whiling away the time. Sunbathing in a sheltered spot is a quickly learned art, for the constant sea breezes can make life difficult. With sunbathing a priority, most people have to search for a place of their own, and on ships these days, when they refer to a full spread of canvas, it doesn't mean sails are back in fashion. One galley serves all passengers aboard, but in the tourist class dining saloon there is less of a choice. But there's plenty for all, and you may get through 4 full meals a day, with a late supper too, if you feel like it. Cruise ships have always been proud of their huge menus, but as most passengers take little exercise, there seems hardly any point in offering 47 items at breakfast or a 5-course dinner with a choice of 7 main dishes. Still, perhaps eating helps keep some people's boredom at bay. With 1 waiter to 8 passengers, the first-class crowd have the kind of dining room service that has long ago vanished from holiday hotels ashore. There seems to be less pressure on ships to cut down overheads and give the kind of up-to-date service that most holiday makers seem to prefer. A buffet lunch relieves the pressure of the 2-sitting system, which operates even in the first-class restaurant. Beautifully laid out in the ballroom and providing no less a range of dishes so passengers don't feel they're missing anything, it also perhaps brings a welcome change of company, for in the regular dining room, your place at table and your sitting are allocated to you for the whole of the trip.
Would you like potato salad?
Jacket potatoes in there.
Where?
The difference between first and tourist class is most obvious when it comes to accommodation. Tourist class cabins are situated mostly on the lower decks and towards the stern, where noise and vibration are greatest. Chusan has 257 first-class cabins. Although well fitted, a large number can only offer a wash basin. This could be difficult as, for example, on the first-class end of C deck, there are only 6 baths to be shared between 149 passengers.
3 and 1, 31. 4 and 9, 49. 5 and 4, 54. 7 and
When
4,
first-class people play bingo at sea, they call it tombola and never use the more familiar lower-deck phrases to identify the numbers. The 24,000-ton Chusan has no cinema, but films are shown in the ballroom. There are beetle drives, dancing lessons and cocktail parties, but is it enough organised?
I often have the feeling that a lot of these package tours are a bit like a Sunday school outing. They're all right for people on their own, I think, and people who probably wouldn't go abroad unless they went on something that was organised. But the mayor mentioned the word organisation and I'm off it straight away.
When you've paid £322 each for your cabin, you don't expect to have a pound whip round to pay a pianist to entertain you of an evening, you see. I mean, the steward's good, he waits on us, we've got a lovely cabin. I mean, the food is excellent, the waiters there, they're everything, but I mean, the entertainment is just hopeless.
The entertainment, like the decor, the food and the service, seems to be geared to another era. Epitomised by the dinner jacket formality of first-class evenings, the style and pace of a cruise liner is a unique preservation. An obvious attraction in these days of the £50 travel allowance is that British ships are regarded as floating sterling areas, and duty-free ones at that. So your pink gin will cost you 1 and 3, or a double whisky, 3 and 4. Although traditionally the steward, you don't call him a waiter, has to be tipped. But this need not cost you too much, as the embarrassing business of tipping on board is quickly dispelled by a down-to-earth leaflet obtainable from the purser's office suggesting just to whom and how much you should give. Though cruise ships may call at 4 or 5 ports, most of their time is spent travelling at sea, and this suits those who don't want their shipboard routine disturbed. During this cruise, Chusan covered 4,660 miles. Yet some passengers do look forward to the chance of darting ashore, going on one of the organised excursions and buying their souvenirs. They can change their currency and prepare for a foreign adventure, knowing all the time that close at hand is the safe familiarity of their floating hotel.